Let's talk about something that I know so many of us struggle with as women, and that's advocating for ourselves in marriage. As wives, we naturally just pour so much into our marriages. So we want to make sure that our spouse is taken care of, that the house is running smoothly, and that everyone else's needs are being met. But here's something that we don't always think about. In the process of caring for everyone else, are we also making sure that we're being taken care of with that same amount of effort and energy? My name is Prateja Talley. I'm the founder of Wives Tribe. This is a space for women who juggle multiple roles as wives, professionals, business owners, mothers, etc. I understand how stressful it can be to show up for everyone and still have energy and effort to show up for yourselves. So, my mission is to help women holistically improve their relationship and grow personally in a balanced and healthy way. And so, in today's video, we'll be discussing the importance of advocating for yourself and relationships and the three things that can help with that. Here's the most important fact of the video, though. It's very simple, and it is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And so if you constantly push your needs to the side to keep the peace or because you think it's selfish to ask for more, eventually you'll start to feel drained, unfulfilled, and even resentful. And that's not what we want in a thriving marriage. So why do wives struggle to advocate for themselves? Well, as wives, so many of us, because either we've been conditioned to believe that being a good wife means prioritizing everyone else first, or maybe we saw our mothers or grandmothers do it. Maybe we've been told that real love means sacrifice. And while love does involve compromise, it should never require you to completely set yourself aside. Another reason why we may find it difficult to advocate for ourselves is guilt. We might feel like speaking up for our needs means that we're being difficult or we're nagging or we're failing at being a wife. But let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with wanting to be heard, valued, and supported in your marriage. You deserve that just as much as your spouse does. So how can we start to advocate for ourselves? Here are the things that you can do to help. The first thing you're going to do is communicate your needs with clarity and love. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming our spouse should just know what we need. I don't care how long you've been together. No one can read your mind, so you have to use your voice. When you don't express what you need, you leave room for frustration and resentment to build. That's one of the biggest silent killers of a relationship, is having an expectation or a need that you have not expressed and then holding your partner accountable to fulfilling that need or that request that you have not yet expressed to them. So I mentioned not only using your voice, but doing it with love. So here are a few examples of how you can do this. Instead of saying, "You never helped me with anything," try something like, "I've," using I statements, "been feeling really overwhelmed with everything going on lately, and I need your support with a few things. Can we work on this together?" See, the difference is one sounds like an attack. You never helped me. Versus the other one invites your spouse into a conversation in a way that encourages teamwork. And so when you do communicate, make sure that you're clear also about what you need. So don't be vague by saying, "Oh, I just need your help." Try saying, "It would mean a lot to me if you could blank, blank, blank," and then be specific about what it is you need. And so an example of this could be like, "It would mean a lot to me if you could take care of dinner on Wednesdays so that I could have an evening to reset." You have to be direct. And being direct doesn't mean that you're being demanding, but it means that you're making sure your partner understands exactly what you need and how they can show up for you. The second thing that we can do to help with advocating for ourselves is to set boundaries that protect our well-being. So first, let's talk about boundaries. A lot of people hear that word and assumes it means that you're putting up walls, but boundaries aren't about pushing your spouse away. It's about creating a marriage built on respect and understanding. So, for example, if you're someone who needs quiet time to recharge after a long day, but your spouse constantly interrupts that time, a healthy boundary might be saying, "Babe, I love spending time with you, I really do. But I really need 30 minutes of uninterrupted time after work just to decompress. It helps me be more present for us later." Or if you feel overwhelmed by always being the one to handle household tasks, maybe a boundary looks like, "Well, I'm a little overwhelmed with managing everything on my own. So how about we have a conversation about how we can divide up responsibilities so that we both feel supported?" Remember that boundaries are not about control. They are about respecting your limits and making sure that both you and your partner both feel valued in the relationship. Remember that boundaries are healthy and it's a great way for mutual respect and understanding in a relationship. The third thing that we can do to help us advocate for ourselves in our marriage is to remember to let go of the guilt and understand that our voice matters. Let go of the guilt. Your needs are just as valid as your spouse's needs. If you're someone who constantly pushes your needs aside because you don't want to bother your spouse, I want you to hear me. I have been that person and I totally understand. But I want you to know that you are not a burden. You are equal. You're an equal partner in your marriage. And for your marriage to thrive, your voice needs to be heard. This one in particular was one that I still struggle with is, not wanting to nag or to feel like I'm bothering my husband or being a burden. But I had to understand and realize that if I don't speak up, I will start to resent him for the things that I am doing by not expressing myself and saying exactly what it is that I need from this marriage. Marriage is equal, it's for both partners. So think about it this way. When you advocate for yourself, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for the health of the relationship because a marriage where one person constantly suppresses their needs isn't a partnership. It's an imbalance. So when you prioritize open, honest communication, when you set boundaries that foster respect, and when you stand firm in knowing that your needs matter, you create a relationship that isn't built on silent sacrifice, but on mutual understanding and love. So I want to challenge you today. What's one way that you can start advocating for yourself this week? Maybe it's having a conversation that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's setting a boundary that protects your time and energy. Whatever it is, I am challenging you to take that step because you matter. If this video resonated with you at all, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe for more content. And until the next video, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep loving. I'll see you in the next one.